Allison Winteroff, and I wanted to share with you my favorite underwater gear. I have been an underwater photographer for going on 10 years, and it started as a hobby and it has grown to personal work, commercial work, and portrait work, everything in between. I love underwater. I love being underwater. I live in Florida, and I'm very lucky to be near the Gulf, where we have really clear water, and also in central Florida, where we have lots of springs, so you can get a mix of salt water and fresh water, where you get really beautiful clear water. But really, you can be an underwater photographer anywhere. There are pools everywhere. There are lakes everywhere. Your work doesn't have to look like mine. You can do what makes you happy. But I wanted to share with you what my favorite gear is, so you can get an idea of what it takes to do this work. So first of all, the most important piece is, of course, my underwater housing. I use an Aquatech Edge housing, and this allows me to control the settings on the back of the camera while I'm in the water. You can't change everything, but this is a really, really great brand. It has never leaked on me, other than when it was my own fault. One time I had a cord that was stuck in this little gasket here, and then it leaked a little bit. It didn't ruin my camera, but that is why you test your camera housing before you put it in the water. But anyway, great housing. My next piece is my second favorite piece, and this is the Dome Port. This is also by Aquatech, and this is their PD 140. I'll have everything linked below so you can get an idea of what it takes. I love Aquatech. They have a really, really great system. This is their PD 140, and this is a dome port, so I can take it above and below the water. So I can take this under the water and take photographs, but I can also take photographs where it's one of those split scenes where you can see above and below the water. So this is a great, great port to have. I do really love this port a lot. It works really well. One of the things that is really important when you have these dome ports is that you keep them clean and shined up. So I use this Novus scratch remover. Number one is going to be your cleaner, so you clean your plastic. Number two is if you have little tiny scratches, this will remove it. And number three is if you get a big heavy duty scratch, this is what you use to remove it. You need to use it with a clean cloth. I use it every second or third time I go in the water, or every time if I'm going in sandy areas like the beach. The next thing that I love with underwater photography is my blower, and this is just going to remove sand and particles that are on my camera housing. And also on the inside of my housing, I will blow this out sometime and remove all the sand and dust that gets up in there. These do have covers on them, but they just get dust in them over time. The next thing that I use a lot is my goggles. These are Mares goggles. These are One Visions, and they are made with really, really great glass and material, and I love them. They keep the fog from happening. I do use some good old spit in my goggles, and then I let it dry to keep the fog from coming. But once you do that, it does stay out pretty well. I haven't found a pair of goggles that don't catch my hair, but I would say that these catch them a lot less than other goggles. But really, really great set. Definitely worth it. And then my final piece is, this is going to be this is where I carry my camera and my gear to the beach or to the springs. This is so that people think that I have a bunch of beer or Coke or something in here and not an expensive camera housing. So I don't hopefully have not had a problem with theft. I've never had anything stolen. I do keep a good eye on things when I'm at the beach, but this is a good way of carrying your gear without it looking like a camera bag. It's padded, it's actually collapsible, so you can remove it, and of course it's insulated and waterproof, so I can put things in there. It has some pockets and things on the inside. This has worked really well. This is a clever made cooler. So that's it. It doesn't take a lot of gear. Obviously, I also have a camera that I use, but it doesn't take a lot of gear. You don't need a lot of things in the water, and honestly, you can't carry a lot of stuff in the water. But if the equipment that you do have, it makes sense to have it be high quality, and it makes sense to make sure you're comfortable with it before you take it in the water. So anyway, just wanted to share with you what I use when I'm doing an underwater photography session.